Yeah. What are the lefties going to do when they find out they've been voting for total crooks?
So when the communism in Europe you're fighting fell, the NGOs did not disband. Somehow they got bigger. They got more money. They got more power. And now they've truly become, they label themselves the protectors of democracy. And now they believe that any challenge to them is challenging quote unquote democracy. But really, it's the democracy they set up in this soft power structure underneath Arnold.
And it's Democrats and Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
As I cannot tell you enough how much both are involved. It is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now we even have members of Congress. So we have sitting members of Congress that actually sit on the NGOs right now. They vote in Congress for money for themselves, and they sit on the same NGOs that they're voting to get money. It is a huge conflict of interest, and it's very, very deep.
Is it all about the money?
I think they're the way of good. Listen, I think they believe they're doing a good mission. I believe that they've told themselves that I think they truly believe that without their influence that the Western world will fall. That's what their parents talk. And it means that their power is top priority. And that also means that obviously their finances are the top priority. So yes, to answer your question, it is all about the money. But they tell themselves a good story, all villains do.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an...
Wait. So we got to talk about one of the most fascinating interviews that I have listened to in a long time. An interview that I think should be shared far and wide, okay? Because transparency is coming to Washington, and this is why Democrats and Republicans as well, too, some Republicans, are freaking out about the efforts of Doge, because Doge has inspired people like this woman, data Republican, who's already been doxxed by the liberal media, to use AI, to use technology in order to expose the corruption of our current political system, okay? And a lot of the corruption comes from NGOs, these non-governmental organizations that get money, massive sums of money, from the government in order to carry out these missions, right? A lot of times they're talking about promoting democracy, but what's actually happening is that they are exhibiting soft power, okay? They're using that soft power in order to maintain influence and control, and probably most importantly, to make money, right? That's what's happening when it comes to the relationship between these non-governmental organizations and our politicians, okay? It is a huge conflict of interest, which, again, I find to be kind of ironic. Democrats are whining and crying about conflict of interest now when it comes to Doge and working with President Trump, but the reason why is because they're projecting, right, which is what they always do. What they cry about the most are probably things that they are engaged in themselves, right? And Ms. Data Republican here, again, did this interview on News Nation in which she basically exposed some Democrat operatives, like, for example, Norm Einstein, and outlined how he benefited from the system of corruption. And it just so happens this guy is the same guy that is the mastermind behind all the lawsuits against Doge, right? Because transparency would expose his corruption scheme that he's involved with. So again, he is trying his best to take down Doge. Take a look.
Then he started attacking the rule of law left and right. And I'm litigating all these cases, fair disclosure. Oh, the Constitution says that people born here are citizens. Oh, no. I say what the Constitution is, not what everybody has always agreed. Pick and choose. And the court stopped him. I just got a preliminary injunction in that case. Oh, I'm going... the identities of all Americans that are in the Treasury system. I'm going to send a bunch of young hackers from Doge into the Treasury systems to pour over that legally protected information. I got an order in that case. Oh, the FBI, their names are protected by the Privacy Act and the Constitution. Never mind that. I'm going to publish 6,000 FBI agents and personnel who worked on the January 6th case. I got a court order on that. And on
No,
and
you
on and
didn't,
on and on.
you
I
liar.
probably worked on 10 cases. I
No,
just
you
filed
didn't.
another one. They got into the Office of Personnel Management. They're pouring over the Doge is pouring over.
Look, this is another one here. That's a typical political hack. He ain't done nothing because the Supreme Court is overriding all of these radical judges that lets morons like this punk do his little trashy and all that. He's a loser and he knows it. He's only, as usual, y'all get this. There's more and more of these people, their audience is getting less and less. And it's getting more and more young and more stupid, more and more radical. You understand that, right? These people will not stop because they think they are doing the Lord's work. Jeez. Anyway, y'all go check it out. Black Conservative Perspective, okay? 30,000 views an hour ago, like I said. Got a lot of information. And like I said, I've got another one. I didn't do it last night, but got one coming up on YouTube. Because YouTube has been found out to be some racist piles. And I'm going to prove it. So, you have a good day. Later, Patriots.